like what I say is make it the place you want to come to. Make it, that experience that you would like to be when you go into a hotel. Because, a lot of people have a bad experience. They're like, oh, hotels, and they think it's always dirty. It's like, no, some places are really, really nice.
This is episode number 36 of the Short-Term Rental Success Stories podcast. Are you an investor that's looking to have your home professionally managed? Go to cohostit.com for more information. Welcome back to Short-Term Rental Success Stories. I'm your host, Julian Sage. This is a show where I talk to hosts about their journeys in starting and growing their short-term rental business. My goal is that you'll be able to walk away with practical information that'll help you become a better host and learn how to scale your business. Like any exceptional host, we all strive for 5-star reviews, so please go on over to iTunes and let us know what you enjoy, as it really helps support the show. If you haven't done so already, go on over to our Facebook group, The Host Nation, to connect with the community. Hey, what is going on, Host Nation? I am super glad to be back with you all. The last episode, I was in Florida for my mom's wedding, and I was just wrapping that up. I thought it was going to be a nice vacation, but my mom put me to work. She was getting married, and she needed a lot of help getting things ready. And literally to the last minute, as my mom's walking down the aisle, I have family members that are like helping to decorate and, put out the tables and everything. And as she's walking down the aisle, everybody's like, oh, she's walking. We got to run back. And so it was very busy and very busy. I thought I'd be taking a break, but it was nice to be able to see family. But I'm glad to be back because you guys are my family as well. You guys are the host family, the Host Nation family. And I'm so glad to be able to talk with you all and connect and be able to provide just this amazing, amazing content. And I just wanted to share some reviews that came in on iTunes. I haven't read some reviews in a while, but it really touches my heart when I read these because I do put a lot of work into this podcast and this show. I am full-time Coast Guard, guys. I do have another job, but I spend all of my time on the content and working and trying to come up with content and creating all this stuff for you. Like I said, I've got 2 full-time people that are helping me just because I want to deliver as much as I possibly can and because I love it. And as I'm growing this property management business, co-host it, and as I'm doing all this stuff, it all really just comes down to you guys. I could be spending a lot more time focusing on growing like my own personal portfolio of short-term rental units, but I have such a good feeling about this show and about the community that we're building that I just want to spend as much time as I can on that. So I love it. I just wanted to take a moment to read some of these reviews because these are so awesome. I love reading your guys' reviews and seeing you guys engage in the Facebook group. We had one come in from Glash. They said, the best of all short-term rental podcasts out there. Julian's podcast is the perfect blend of inspiration and practical information. His abundance mindset is refreshing and is what has taken this show to the top of the charts so quickly. Thank you so much, Glash, for that really kind review. Next one's coming from Junior Music, and they said a quality-driven podcast. Not only does Julian provide a platform with informative content, he also exemplifies such effort in how the content is presented with regards to how the show's formatted, the audio quality, and then the topics and etc. Thank you so much, Junior Music. I really appreciate that. And because John and I in Vacation Rental Machine don't really spend that much time talking like I do on this show, I wanted to highlight some of the reviews from Vacation Rental Machine. There's a few of them, so I'm not going to be able to hit all of them, but just a few says the best STR podcast ever, best STR podcast, great content, more detail, no rumbling and mumbling. John and Julian are awesome. Mike in San Francisco left a 5-star, but also had some pretty good feedback. They said, wish that some of the content would go longer and more in depth. And I understand that, Mike. Vacation Rental Machine, there's a lot of content. We're putting out 2 episodes every week, and we're trying to cover like the whole broad spectrum. So this is basically like our free course on starting your own vacation rental business, your own short-term rental business. So we're trying to hit on a lot of things and do it very quickly because there's just so much content that is available. But we are covering a lot of deep details in B&B Empire Builders. And John and I are actually working on a very special project that is going to be coming out within the next few months, guys. It is a lot of work, but the content that is in VRM, it is really good and it's very practical. You can take that and you can start your own business. But John and I are working on something that can really get you guys going, and that will be just like super action-packed, fast-paced, but very deep and very detailed because we want to be able to have and teach people how to scale their own vacation rental business. So maybe I gave a little bit too much information on that. I haven't even shared that too much in the other show, but just be prepared for some exciting stuff to be coming. We're constantly putting out stuff. I'm just super excited. I love you all, and I love the guest that we had on today, and that is Maria Kelley. Maria started her own business, Kelley's Hands on Demand, an errand and concierge service in Augusta, Georgia, after she got laid off from her work. One of the services she provides is cleaning. And when she got started in her business, she started going to a lot of business networking events where she found a couple of short-term rental investors who needed her cleaning services. Maria started doing the cleaning for one property, and that eventually grew and grew. But because of the relationship she established with her clients and her willingness to take on more tasks, she was offered to take on additional hosting responsibilities. Now, Maria currently manages over 10 properties and is making as much as around $500 per property per month. Maria shares her journey from cleaner to co-host and how important networking is to get clients. She also talks about putting systems in place for her cleaning teams and the guests to make sure that her business is still able to run even without her. Maria is an awesome person. She's a real go-getter, and she's also in the B&B Empire Builders. So I know that the B&B Empire Builders Mastermind closes today, and I'm sorry, guys, if you weren't able to make it after this episode has already come out, but we are going to be opening it back up once we have really refined how we are going to be doing this content. We don't know when it's going to be coming back out, but you can still fill out an application, and we can reach out to you when it does open back up. But we do have our early adopters already set. We aren't going to be taking any more people, but if you do want to still join in the future, then fill out an application and you will be notified when it does open back up. So if you like my show notes for this episode, go to shorttermsage.com/STR36, or if you like my show notes for every episode, then go to shorttermsage.com/show notes. With all that being said, on to this week's conversation. Hey, welcome back, Host Nation, to another episode of Short-Term Rental Success Stories. In this episode, I have the special honor of speaking with the one and only Maria Kelley. Maria, would you please introduce yourself? Let the Host Nation know who you are and what inspired you to get into short-term rentals.
Yes, good morning. My name is Maria Kelley. I am the owner of Kelly's Hands on Demand. It's an errand and concierge service in Augusta, Georgia. What inspired me to start this company was I wanted to start my own business a few years ago, and what got me into short-term hosting or Airbnbs and helping with that platform was faith. I guess I got a customer who needed help and slowly recruited me and has recruited me and has brought me to where I'm at because I'm working with one customer. So yeah.
Cool. And you started off because you actually moved to the Augusta, Georgia area. Your husband's in the military. When you moved to this area, did you have like a job lined up, or did you really know what you were going to be doing before you got started into this?
So yes, my husband's in the military. We're originally from Florida, from West Palm Beach, Florida, and I used to work for an attorney's office remotely. And so when I moved to Georgia, they moved with me, but then I was laid off a couple of months later just because the company was going through issues and whatnot. So, that's when, then and there, that's when I was like, okay, well, I have a decision to make. I could either go look for a job again and work for another attorney or an office doing kind of what I've done, which it has always been bookkeeping and accounting. But I decided I wanted to start a business just to set my own schedule. I've always wanted to do my own business. I actually have been talking to my husband for years prior. Like, I should do something. I should start a business. And he's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. I had no idea. He's like, okay, well, and since I've always done bookkeeping and accounting, that was kind of actually what I was going for. Like, maybe I should start like a bookkeeping, accounting, virtual assistant kind of help. And I could get a couple clients and just work from home and da-da-da. So the idea of the Airbnb, of the errands and concierge came along, and I started kind of doing some networking and meeting some people. And then because of that is where I met these two investors that are here in Augusta and have bought some properties. And we started with one Airbnb, and I was just helping them do the flips and like clean them up. And it was once, twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. And then they're like, oh, we have another property. The people in the back moved out. We're making that one an Airbnb. Now you have 2. Oh, okay, cool. And then they're like, oh, we bought a little house down the street. And would you like to do it? Oh, awesome. And then they're like, oh my God, Maria, guess what? We bought a mansion. That one has 5 units. How about you do that one? Can you handle it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's do this. And then that's really, and then I'm up to 10 units. So
wow.
It's just mind blowing because I help them, and they're the ones bringing me. Like in that aspect, I'm not out there looking for the client. He's the one that just keeps growing, which is amazing. And he's bringing me with.
I just think that that is so cool, Maria, and that's really why I wanted to be able to get you on the show and talk about this, is because it's so interesting being able to hear someone, you transitioned to this new area, you got laid off, you're like, I need to do something, I want to start something of my own, and you started an errand and concierge kind of like service, helping people, and
Yeah.
from that you learned about having to start a business and how challenging that is. So you started going
Yeah.
out, you started networking, you started connecting, and through your networking, you found these people that were just looking to have their houses cleaned because that was one of the services you provide. And from there, they just started passing you on clients and clients. And now, not only are you running, a concierge and cleaning service, but you're also now a property manager.
Yes, yes. Like, yeah, by pure faith. Like, and it's funny because I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Just growing up, I always wanted to be in hospitality. So I guess in a way, I'm in it.
So
So
what would you say was the most challenging part of starting this business?
the networking and just getting out of my comfort zone, doing things that, having to get up in front of people and, express what you have in your head and actually bring them out into words. Because I actually did everything. Like I did everything for my business. When I got laid off, um, I was home for a couple of months before it was in July. And then we decided, okay, well, I'm going to start my business in January 2019, 18. So I got laid off July 2017. So I had a few months, right? And those months, I did the logo. I came up with the name. I registered the company. I did the website. I mean, I'm using a platform, but I'm not. I'm computer savvy, but not that computer savvy that, oh yeah, I could create websites and I could do this. No, not. I just don't know how to do it, right?
Right. It's a lot of work to start a business, and there's a bunch of different things
Yes.
that you
Yes.
that you just have to learn along the way.
Absolutely. So that was one, the networking and just, I guess, coming out of my comfort zone. And I think the other just biggest one at the beginning is, trying to tell people, look, I can help you, and actually getting them to trust you and like you, because you really need that in order for you to be able to start getting your customers to come repeatedly, as long as. So I think that was, to me, one of the biggest challenge, just to get people to hear you.
And networking, what type of networking did you do? So people that maybe are starting in this business, maybe they're offering their own cleaning services, and they're saying, hey, I'm just going to start off cleaning other people's properties, but I want to get connected with maybe people that do have multiple properties and that are scaling this business. What type of networking did you do in order to find your real estate investor clients?
Well, networking, I actually joined a group here in Augusta, Georgia, that is ran by Amy D. Kilpatrick. It's called Inspire Solution. And I also joined BNI. So BNI is Business Network International. It's also like, it's a worldwide networking group. So I started meeting people because of the networking group, and started meeting all the like small business owners out here, or people with small businesses. Actually, here in Augusta, Georgia, there's so many people. I think there's like 50%. It's a huge number of small business here. So people like to support that. And it's a big community. So that, I think, was what helped me. Especially with Amy. I mean, because over there, it's like, she wasn't only networking. She taught me, she's a business consultant, right? So she taught me how to go out there and get those clients. What are your ideal words? What is your ideal client look like? Your golden goose, not like a client that you're just doing it to do it because you have. So putting me in a different mindset, picking positive words, how to speak to people, how to present yourself. So many little things that if you kind of put them together, they do help. I think that's also been, a lot of part of the help, the success that I've gotten with the networking, and then just meeting the people around, and getting to learn about everybody. We all at the end of the day have like the same challenges. It's because everybody has a small business. Like, yeah, we do a different service or we sell different products, but we all have, the same challenges.
I think I just want to point out to the listeners, to the host nation, that this is such a networking driven business. To be able to go out and meet clients, meet investors, meet property owners, and then be able to offer these services. Yeah, you have to be able to sell and pitch your services.
Yeah.
But this is all about people, and it's all about finding those right connections. Because you weren't really planning on getting into property management. It just kind of, that golden goose kind of fell in your lap, and then you kind of took it and ran with it.
Exactly.
If you could talk about the how you're kind of a little bit, because I know that we were talking a little bit about how you've structured your deal with your investors, because you feel that you were in a position where it's like you didn't know anything about short-term renting and property management, but your investors are kind of grooming you into that position. Can you kind of talk about that when you don't have that experience, but and this deal that you've made with them to be able to help you learn and also make money?
Yeah. So like by learning, because I got into this, I've been trying to learn, and that's how I came across you, and listening to a lot of podcasts and just other people. There's thankfully a lot of information also out there about the Airbnb world and all those platforms. When I started with the investors, they're like, oh, it started as cleaning. So I was making the full cleaning amount. So I was like, you know what? This is not bad, because I'm coming in, I do this for an hour and a half. I'm making $40. Okay, awesome. That's awesome. That's not bad, right? So, but again, my investors are the ones grooming me, because at the beginning I wasn't also doing the answering and the co-hosting in Airbnb on the app. All I did was text them, hey, done. And they will handle all that. I didn't deal with the drama, like if somebody had a complaint, nothing. I was just come in Tuesday, you have this, come in from this time. And I said, okay, perfect. That was all. So when they offered me, hey, Maria, and we need you to start also co-hosting, because the investor he couldn't handle it anymore. He's going, and too much for one person to do, because they're doing other stuff. They offered me a flat fee. So I make a $7 for flat fee per booking. Plus now I have a team, because since I have 10, I really can handle the 10 plus be able to be in my errand and concierge service, which I also help another business with other stuff. And that's also full time. I have a team for that. So I have a lot of moving plates. So because of that, I started making the team. So now I make also a flat fee, not like I make an amount when the cleaning crew goes, plus the flat fee of the co-hosting. But like I was explaining to you earlier, I'm not right now doing also like, I hear a lot of people when they have a percentage, they do a lot more work. They call the people, they said the cleaners. I don't do that, because I must say that the investor, he's fully involved, and he does help me. Like this weekend when I was away, he took over so I could be away. So he does help me. It's not like, oh no, Maria, you're by yourself, and this is all we're paying. So I mean, right now, for what I'm learning and what I'm doing, I think it's pretty fair.
Right. And you were saying, because right now you're managing 10 properties, you kind of estimated that with the cleaning fee and the management fee that you are doing, you're making anywhere around 10 to 15%, which still isn't bad for
Exactly.
for just people throwing properties at you, and you already have that cleaning team set up. It's like, okay, give me more.
Yeah, sure.
So, but if you were to go into full-time management, then you could be looking more at anywhere from 10 to 25%, depending on the level of service. But I think that it's pretty cool that you got in, and they found you as a cleaner, but then they said, okay, well, we want you to start becoming more. And now they're starting to pass you not only only to help your cleaning business, but it's also helping you open up avenues towards property management as well. And I just want to point out, for the listeners, I mean, for 10 properties at around 10 to 15%, you're making around, how much would you say that you're making a month off of these 10 properties?
Well, like base about $400 to $500 a month
per property.
Per property, yeah. That's, I mean, if when they're nice, when they're booked the whole month, and we're having a good month, and because that also, if it's a slow month, that varies. But yeah, if the property has a good booking and everything, that's very possible, 400-500 a month.
Yeah, and that's really not bad. That's a full-time income for a lot of people. And this is just off of the 10 properties that you are managing. Plus you also have the cleaning business for the other, the other side. So that is really awesome. What has been the most challenging part of scaling this business? I know that you do have those investors, but have you started looking to acquire more properties or more clients?
I'm actually just in the works of that. I think right now my biggest challenge is I want to put everything in manuals. Like, not only I have manuals at the Airbnbs for the guests, but now I want to do manuals for the owners, and I want to do manuals for the cleaning company. I have for the cleaning crew, but I want to go more into depth with that. I want to be more like, okay, guys, this is exactly how we're going to do it. So I think that's right now my biggest challenge. And just this is funny, just because one property doesn't have laundry, has been the laundry, because I do it at home. So it's been killing me, but we finally have it there. So other than that, no, I mean, I think at the end of the day, what a lot of business owners, one of their biggest challenges, and this is just for anybody, is finding the help that is reliable, professional, and is doing it exactly how you would like for it to be done. Thankfully, I've been lucky for the most part with that. So, I think that's been one of my biggest roadblocks and challenges for sure.
Now, talk a little bit about the this Masters golf tournament. I know that Augusta is very popular for the Masters. That's the big golf tournament of the year. It's held there. What is business like for you during this? Is it a week long or?
Yeah, it's usually a week long, and I mean, business just gets really, really crazy because for the most part, that whole week we get booked. So we try to make it a little bit nicer for these customers, because usually they're paying a lot more than what the normal rate is. It just, that week everything goes up in Augusta, hotels wise at least, and that kind of stuff, because Masters brings a lot of people, and it's a big event that costly. So for me, it books me. It keeps me really busy. I put more hours in because I have to go in, and we put champagne and we put water and we make it look extra nice, because we want the people to feel like, hey, look, at least we're getting this touch. So we last year, I came up with a basket, like I said, with champagne, water, treats, and I personally wrote notes. Thank you for staying, or thank you for choosing us, and and left it with in each person's room. So that was it, because it was just sometimes one place was booked for one night, so each day we had to go in and do a flip. So it was more of that, because the price really doesn't go up for me, because like I was saying, I get the flat fee. And the cleaning doesn't really go up in Airbnb because of the week. No, the price of the rental may go up, but the cleaning fee stays the same. So to me, in that sense, it just keeps me busy. And my investors do also help me and take care of me and pay me for the additional hours that I put in. So in that sense, I do get like a little extra. But like, for example, the other week that we had the hurricane coming around, since we are so close to the coast, we had the whole week. I had like 25 flips in 1 week. That's a lot of flips to do in one, cleaning flips. So it kind of felt like a master's week. but without not as intense as usually what Masters Week will be. So, yeah.
I'm curious about the relationship between the investors, because they're they're a little bit more involved in the business, and
Yeah.
they found you through cleaning, and they're trying to have you incorporated into their business model. What would you say, being on the other end of the cleaning, and also the grooming aspect? What is the best type of relationship, would you say? Like, if you could redo this relationship and kind of structure it the way that you would prefer, what do you think would be the best way to have, like, investors that are looking for cleaners to teach them how to become property managers? What would be the best way to be able to have that type of relationship?
That's a really good question, because I think, again, my situation is so unique. My relationship with these guys have not been what I think my future relationship when I pursue new clients will be, just because we've also become like friends. And so I've seen them, like I had mentioned earlier, like a mentor. So I am the way I picture my future relationships, or how I will handle the future ones, will be more like, obviously more in a professional term, uh, without less mistakes, and coming out more um, organized. Because again, at the beginning there was no manuals, there was nothing. Everything says, hey, make the place look nice and make it smell pretty. That was our thing. Make it look nice and make it smell pretty. So I think definitely it will be something where I will have more organization when I come into the relationship, and show them, like, look, this is how I have found it to be easier to work, and to help you grow your business, and to help your property thrive. And this is what we should do, and just give them those ideas that I'm also coming up with along the way. But I've been able to kind of learn with these guys, with the investors, using them to you know as my guinea pigs, let's call. But I think that will be one of my biggest changes in the relationship that I've handled with them. But again, because I've seen them more as mentors and helpers as well, because they're kind of holding my hand through the process. I guess that just makes it so much more different than most people that are already structuring this really professional, really, really company. And when they offer themselves to the company, it looks different than the way I came in with them. So
So it sounds like almost they were very kind of new into this business aspect as well, because they took you under and they didn't really have that good organization. So you felt like you were learning, and they were also kind of learning, like, what to do with you as
yeah,
well.
yeah, they were new to the Augusta market. They have, I believe, they have like 6 Airbnbs in Colorado, and they have another few in Utah, and they have just properties there as well that they do long-term rentals, as they have here, because they just don't have the Airbnb. They also have a few long-term rentals that they have. So so they are, because, like, for example, the guy in Colorado that does their flips and does what I'm doing here, I believe he's like a relative. So he's like a friend, and they also hold his hand, and they started together. So yeah, we're all kind of learning together. Sometimes I'll be like, oh my God, we need to do this. And they're like, oh, that's an amazing idea. Yes, let's implement that. Like, oh, please add this. I was like, oh, look, I heard this on Airbnb podcast because of you guys. They know now that I'm all into this. And we need to use Noiseware, or we need to do this. And they're like, wow, we didn't even know that existed. So yeah,
Very
we
cool.
all,
Well, they're gonna have to be the next episode after this one.
yeah. Oh,
Very-
you love them. You will
yeah.
love them.
So if you were to redo this, so let's say you were in the position that they are, and you were taking on maybe cleaners and grooming them to manage your properties. What would be your process for that? Because obviously, when people are learning, their commission is going to be a little bit smaller, because there's going to be maybe mistakes, or there's going to be maybe they have a primary business model, which is cleaning. What would you be doing with your cleaners if you were to groom them up?
So what I've been learning is the training. Like, really just take time and show people exactly how things you would like for them to be. And like what I say is, Make it the place you want to come to. Make it, that experience that you would like to be when you go into a hotel. Because, a lot of people have a bad experience. They're like, oh, hotels, and they think it's always dirty. Like, no, some places are really, really nice. Well, we're not the highest, but we try to keep the places as nice as we can, especially because we also have older homes. So we have older homes, but they're very modern inside. The decoration and everything. So one of the things that we take most pride in is the clean, keeping it as clean as possible. So again, it's the manuals, it's the training. One of an idea that I'm going to start implementing. I want to start doing is kind of like maybe more pictures or videos of exactly how things should be. So then it's better for the eye of the person that is helping when they're learning, when they're learning how to do it. Like, okay, well, here, watch this video of how the bathroom should always look, kind of situation. If you deal with this issue, well, then here's the solution for this. That's what I think should be something somebody starting a business should implement. Because another thing is, the way I see it is, what if tomorrow I don't wake up, I need my cleaners to continue, or at least for a little bit, or this could be something my kids to take, my husband can continue, So it's just like you want the business to keep running, or if you want to sell it in the future, at least now you have it already manualed up and ready to be, it's valuable. It's just that the value of keeping that log of your information. So things are done in a process, and everybody is always on the same page. Because then if one cleaner comes and does this, and then the next cleaner comes and does this, and then nobody paid attention to this in the middle, then you guys, it gets messed up.
Yeah, you gotta have the systems in place, and that's what you're learning, and what you feel that would be better if you were in that position was creating those systems, creating those processes, creating video, journals, tutorials, so that you can pass that on to people, so that if something were to happen to you, or you need to take a vacation, even
exactly,
that you can give that to somebody else and they can repeat that.
Or if they have a question and I'm not available, they could go in and pick it up right away, or anything like that, So that helps them as well.
What type of person, Maria, would it take to, if, like, let's say you have a cleaner, what would qualify them as being a person that would be able to maybe start the grooming process for being able to help them become property managers themselves?
That's a great question. I think slowly, like just showing them around the property and teaching them about the property, teaching them, small like tasks. Maybe like the guys did with me, like slowly, hey, you're just doing the cleaning. Okay, can you help us also do this now? And then, can you answer the Airbnb? Oh, can you co-host? So I think maybe feeding the steps from becoming a cleaner to becoming a property manager. They're not very different, because it's really just contacting and scheduling more and talking more with other contractors to help you fix the property. But if you're able to have a good team and you're able to have good resources of the people around you, that, it's not as hard. So I just think slowly doing everything baby steps. Like, okay, I'm doing the cleaning. Now I'm doing the cleaning. Now I get to call the yard guy, for example. Now I'm doing the cleaning. Now I get to pay attention that the filter and that, all the light bulbs are always good, and that, water the plants. I don't know. Let's fix the gate. Like small little things that property managers could do that is involved in doing the property management. Yeah, I think that would be like the best way to kind of transform you to becoming from a cleaner to becoming a property manager. But again, I have background on that too. So to me, this was kind of like second nature. Like, oh, the grass wasn't cut. Like, do you want me to call him? You guys don't have time. Just give me the number. I'll call him. I'll take care of it. It's just, to me, it's second nature because of the past work that I've done that has also involved property management.
So from what it sounds like, it sounds like it's for the type of person that would be best for this type of position. It's someone that is eager and looking to take on more responsibility.
Yes, absolutely. I would definitely say the person is eager and, like you said, willing to take the responsibility and make sure it gets done correctly. I think that's pretty much the most important thing in a person.
Now, for cleaning companies, because you're also doing cleaning and the errand concierge service, big question always on the show is, finding reliable cleaners, finding and building that team. What
Yes.
is your process with finding people that can, join your team?
So that's also been something I'm learning along the way. So I've picked up people from different places. I had one through a friend that I met in networking. It was her friend. So that was somebody who knew somebody, and that's how I have her, right? Um, I had one that I actually posted. I got a post and I made it in Facebook jobs and I posted it there, and she came through there and we met. And she's wonderful. I'm like, oh my God, Facebook, thank you. Um, I had one that's currently helping me, and I met her at the pool. So I think the only real process that I have created has been the Facebook one. And I was just like, okay, where do I post it? And I thought Facebook, and I thought there was another one. There was a big like hiring website that
Indeed.
Indeed, yes, I believe yes, it was Indeed. And I remember because one of my other services is a medical courier. So I remember a few months ago I was looking for drivers. So I went to Indeed and it had a great result. So I'm like, oh, well, let me go to Indeed. So that was my strategy. So
Well, you,
so
you,
far.
you're doing something right. I mean, right now you're doing like a little shotgun approach, for the marketing aspect, but for the types of people that you qualify, because I'm sure that maybe you got a few interested applicants. How do you sift through that to be able to find like quality people that are going to be reliable and be able to, be able to be consistent?
I just kind of go in and I try to learn about the person because okay, I'm not a cleaner, but I'm doing this cleaning job. So I understand that you don't have to be exactly just a cleaner. It could just also be the way you are. Like one of the ladies, she's like, "Oh, I'm OCD," and she's like great at what she does, and she's never cleaned before. She's worked in the office before, but she isn't like you said. She's eager and she wants to help, and she likes the flexibility with working with me. So she does an amazing job, right? So I think that's the biggest part of it. With them, I feel them out really. I just kind of like see where they're going. I test them the first few times. I go behind and I kind of look. I see what the client or our guests are also reviewing, what they're stating. The guys also have somebody who kind of goes around and looks. So we have eyes on it. After I see, okay, they're doing good. Look, no, they were able to handle it. I see when like challenges come along and how they're handling. That kind of brings me into the process. Okay, they could handle. I could give them more than just one, or they're able to work more, or they really like this, or this is not for them. Maybe I need to put them on my other side of my company with my seniors or with the pet sitting, or because we do so many different other little services. So that's kind of how I go by with the people. I interview them. I explain like all the craziness, all the stuff that we do. And I ask them, what do you like to do most, or what makes you most comfortable? And they'll tell me, oh, this is great. This is what I like more. Or oh no, I think I could do that, and I'll show them. And because for the most part, I must say, the Airbnb community, people take care of the places. So I think that's what helped me too. That's not just a cleaning company because I don't do cleaning, just residential cleaning or not. I do cleaning. We help people. So if you're sick and you need your house cleaned, absolutely, we'll go in and clean your house, no problem. But I get calls like, "Oh, can you come?" And we want somebody to come every 3 weeks to clean, or every week to clean. I really don't have the staff. I don't. It's harder cleaning. It's something totally different. So I really don't get into that. So because of how Airbnb is in the community, and for the most part, the places are such good conditions, it's not like we're coming into making a deep cleaning all the time. It's mostly a light cleaning, changing sheets, wiping everything, making it look pretty, smell pretty. There's a lot. Look pretty and smell pretty. So it's not that hard. You don't have to be, years just eager to help pretty much. So that, honestly, most of my ladies don't have cleaning experience. We have just been a team that I've taught them how to do things. The way they are has also helped with me. So I guess I've gotten even lucky with that sense of of my business, is just finding people that are willing to work and grow with me.
Wow, you're a very lucky person. You get the golden goose, you get the golden employees. You're doing something. You're doing something right, and whatever you're doing, you gotta spread that to the listeners today.
I
What would you do differently if you had to start from scratch?
I go back to the manuals and the systems, because let me tell you, with one of my services, I at one point I lost a really really big contract because everything wasn't properly taught and properly trained. And like if I also had, that would have been that's also another one that just came out of nowhere, and that would was growing really fast, and it was I was just kind of thrown in it too. No manuals, no nothing. So that to me, I don't know. I find it to be one of the most important things and to do, and that I would have done differently from the beginning. In those months before I opened it, maybe I would. But again, or from the beginning, I would have written down every step. And hey, guys, this is exactly what you guys want. Okay, cool. Let's write it down. Let's do this. So I think that organization and when networking, I got so lucky here because networking is such a big thing. I didn't know about networking before, like the way I learned it here, you know. But it's funny because I'm Colombian, and in Colombia, that's how things happen. That's just kind of logic to me. My dad's own businesses always. And, in Colombia, like, oh no, go to Mrs. down the street. She does a great job. So everybody in your family just goes to the lady down the street because she does a great job. And that's referral marketing right there. That's networking. You have your network of friends and family that tells you where to go, and you go. So that and like I said, just putting a better process and procedures in place, and getting more out of my comfort zone. That's one thing that has been hard for me, and even now, and it is hard for me to get up. But I find that it has to be necessary, because if you're not able to do that, then you can't continue. You know what I mean? You have to be able to get out of your comfort zone and let people. That just it helps you grow. Every time you're out of your comfort zone and you overcome that uncomfortable situation, now you're a step ahead of yourself. So that has been one of the things that I will definitely would have loved to work on a lot more before I started doing all this.
Great. And if you could just give one piece of advice to someone who is looking to, maybe they are a cleaner and they're looking to get into the more property management, what would you give to that person?
I would say just, be, to me, I've been real. I've been really real. Like, I take care of the Airbnbs like they were my own. Like, I'm the owner. And accept your mistakes when you make them. Like, okay, I made a mistake. That whatever. How can I fix it? That's not. Let's not get no reason to get like mad about. Like, flip it. Don't be negative about the mistakes. How about just look at them positive, and what of that mistake can I do now to fix it, so then tomorrow that mistake doesn't happen again. Instead of being like, oh my God, I can't believe they called me out on that. I'm so upset. Like, that's definitely something that has helped me.
I really love that you shared that, Maria, because it is one of those questions where it's like, is she going to say something different than all the other stuff that she was saying before about the networking, about all of that? But I think that it's so cool that you shared that, because what you basically said, to recap, was you're to give to somebody else, you have to look at that property like it's your own, and you have to become invested into it. You're looking at this not just like, oh, I messed up, well, I'm just a cleaner, so whatever. You're looking at this like this is something that I care about. This is something that this is their business, and this is my business. And,
exactly.
So yes, I think that is
my livelihood. So together we can come up with something, help each other out. Absolutely.
That's great. And what is a question that maybe you have for another professional host, someone that is maybe at a similar position than you, or maybe that next level? What would you ask them?
Oh, so many. I guess what's their biggest challenge? Because I see a lot of people, they do like 100 properties, or they have, I'm only doing 10, but again, I know my situation is different, but like, wow, what's overall your biggest challenge? Is it time? Because how do you handle your time? To me, time is like, we need more hours than 24 hours a day, So yeah, just like, how do you handle that part of running such a big business? I mean, I've heard of people even run like 1,000 Airbnbs around the world, and it's like, oh my God! Obviously, they're not doing it all by themselves. They're not answering all the. But still, that's just, how do you handle your time? How are you? I mean, I know about time, scheduling, calendar scheduling, all that, but like, I'm doing 10, you're doing 100 or 1,000. That's just crazy. So that I would definitely that would be my biggest question is, how do you manage your time? Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you so much, Maria, for taking the time to, come on here and share your experience. I think it's so cool. Yours is a very unique situation. It's very, you're going to be the first on the show that has kind of shared this experience from, kind of being cleaner to property manager and to even more. So thank you so much for taking the time and sharing this. And until next time, Host Nation, keep on hosting. Hope you hosts benefited from the show. If you found value, please go on over to iTunes, leave us a review, and let us know what you enjoy about the show. If you'd like to talk to hosts that have been featured in these episodes as well as the community, go on over to our Facebook group, The Host Nation.